Hey everybody, hope you're doing great today. In this video I'm going to talk about transplanting plants from hydroponic setup to a soil-based setup. I was originally planning on showing you a quick start. I needed basil. I needed basil for a particular recipe I was going to make. So instead what I ended up doing is buying the basil from a local store. I was planning on showing a video of me starting it up from seed using rock wool and water, basically just starting it up in a hydroponic setup and then transplanting the soil. I will still do that. I'm probably going to grow Thai basil for other dishes that we make at home, but I needed the regular basil, the traditional Italian style basil, for a recipe I'm planning on making here soon. So I went and purchased it from a local grocery store. So the one I purchased, it's grown close by here. I'm in Ohio. This was grown in Michigan. It's basically a hydroponic setup. It cost me $3 to purchase. As you can see, it comes in a little disposable cup, and it's just grown in a little cube of sorts. I'm not sure what the material of the cube is. You can see the roots in there. And you just add, if you're buying this, you're using it in your house, then you just add water to the cup periodically and it keeps growing. It keeps the plant healthy for a short amount of time. It's presuming that you're going to harvest most of it pretty quick, because if you do want to keep it growing, you'll need to add not only water, but you'll also have to add nutrients to the water, so that way it has nutrients to grow. So in order to get the best use out of this, the best value out of this, I plan on putting it into a soil planter I have over here. And the reason I do that is because with the soil, it's got a water container on the bottom of this growing container, so I don't have to water it frequently, and the soil is going to allow it to grow much more. Basically, it'll be able to stick around for the entire growing season. Not until the frost comes will it die, and you can actually even get seeds out of this too. Once it flowers, you'll get some seeds off of it. If you want to replant those seeds, harvest those seeds, use them for next year, you can do that. But it'll get me a whole lot more use out of this $3 plant over here, versus if I used this couple of dishes, depending on what dish you're making, you could harvest half of this and be gone pretty quick. And once I pop this in the soil, it'll start shooting up pretty quick. Got a lot more nutrients, a lot more water to utilize, and they'll grow pretty quick. And you get a pretty good healthy yield out of a single plant like this. Like I mentioned, I could do the other way. I could start with seed indoors. I've got some seed I purchased online. I use rock wool cubes, and I will show that in a later video. But for today's purpose, I'm going to show you quickly planting this in the other planter I have over here. So this is the planter that I use. I purchased this a number of years ago. Basically, it has a water reservoir underneath, and then a soil container up at the top over here, and you just put in any plants here. I don't fence this because usually I only use this for herbs, and with herbs, most of the deer and the rabbits, they don't really care for the smell of the herbs, so they leave it alone. Similarly with this mint over here, it's just left out in the open. The only ones who are using it are the humans here. The animals leave it alone. So I plan on doing the same thing over here. Never had any issues with deer or rabbits coming after the basil over here. So let me show you the process. It's quick and easy, nothing really special, nothing fancy. It's gonna open up a little space in here for the plant. So the roots are already moist. I just need to drop it in, put it in the hole, cover up the rest of the roots with soil, tamp it down a little bit. As this soil's already been wetted by myself previously, I don't expect any issues. I don't really need to water it, and then the water basin is full at the bottom there too. So I will just need to periodically top off the water, just as water is used by the plant and through evaporation. And since this is an open reservoir here, as you can see, the reservoir is open. It can become a mosquito breeding ground. So I usually buy some of the anti-mosquito treatments. You just drop a little disc in there, and that usually takes care of mosquitoes. You don't have a mosquito problem. So depending on your climate, depending on the weather, whether it's very hot, very humid, you might need to condition the plant. Since it's been growing indoors, when I purchased it, they usually grow these hydroponic plants indoors under artificial lights. So before you put it out in a planter like this, I would make sure you put it out in the sun for a little bit. Right now it's a little overcast over here, not intense sun. These types of herbs like mint or basil, they're a little more sturdy, they're a little more forgiving, so they won't get too much damage from the sun. Again, it depends on your location, what the weather is like in your area. If you're gonna be having some intense heat and some intense sun, then I would, like I mentioned, I would put it outside for a couple hours, let it acclimate to the different growing conditions, to direct sun, make sure it's watered properly before transplanting it into the soil. So we're good to go with the plant over there. It's going to go pretty well for me, and it will help provide fresh herbs for cooking for a number of months to come. So that's all I have for this video. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.